Hey guys, what's going on? Just coming up in the on the stream here. Gonna start a new thing, and yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different. I try to do something different like every single time that I tattoo. I should be practicing on like fundamentals and stuff like that as far as like line work and stuff, but every single one of the tattoos has line work in it. It's just varying degrees of complexity. So I did go ahead and change a couple things on the transitions. So you can see throughout. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, what are we working on?" And people pop in and they do wonder like, what is this blob that's on this guy's leg? And sometimes it's a little goblin in a lightning storm. Sometimes it's Mr. Toad. And hey, what's going on? How you doing? Turkey noodle, yay, you're here. I like that. But yeah, so you can step in, you can see down, over here what it is I'm working on today. Today's subject is Brosidon. Uh, Second title, Blue Neon Party in My Pants. So today I'm going to be trying to focus on actually doing like a kind of a glow effect if possible. It might end up looking bad, but either way, I'll still have Brosidon. And all my shorts are just long enough to hide them, unless I hike those babies up, and then we get to see more than a little bit of Brosidon. Yeah. So this is to Brosidon. Let's go ahead and get started on this. I have the only colors, honestly, that I have are various shades of blue. I figure that fits Brosidon pretty well. Let me go ahead and get him in camera here so you can see what's going on. So very simple, very, very simple line work. What I'm going to be relying on with this again, and try to ignore, like I've got, so this is what happens whenever you like keep your tattoos nice and moisturized. Eventually your skin is like, or at least my skin, whoa, too moist, right? So I got like some ingrown hairs, but nothing to be worried about. There's no ingrown hairs around any of the tattoos themselves except for Mr. Toad, poor guy. But it's cool. They'll heal up. It's not a big deal. None on here, so I don't have to worry about secondary infection or anything like that. But even like Brosidon's face, focus in. Well, it doesn't matter if it focuses in because it's so simplistic. It's barely even there. However, trident, mermaid or merman tail, and a big bottle of whatever I want it to be makes this Poseidon's second cousin, pretty much. I'm going to be using 3 different size needles, but I'm going to start off with a 7 round liner. Hoping that's what is in this package. That looks like a liner to me. Does it look like a liner to you? Yeah, it's kind of pokey on the edge. And I'm not going to name the manufacturer of my power supply nor my tattoo machine because, trying to keep things all nice and cool. So various shades of blue is what we'll be working with. You can see the needle is kind of, I mean, that's pretty long. Now, I don't stick that whole thing in my leg. That'd be ridiculous and hurt a lot. But I do stick a lot of it in my leg. So what I'm going to work on first is the actual inside outline, if that makes any sense. And for that, I'm going to be using a very, very light shade of blue. Hopefully I've made enough of it here and it's stayed wet enough to be useful. And we're going to go ahead and start at the top. Let me know if you guys can hear my music because I don't want a copyright complaint. And this is the first time that I've put music on. So this super light blue is kind of the whole basis for everything. I will be trying to do a little bit. I don't know if you could say a little bit more with it, but it's the first time I've tried something like this. I'm going to break my rule of turning the machine off to dip. Yeah, I'm hoping the robots can't either. I did a mic check just to make sure, because that's something I like to do, especially with all the sound problems that, that I've had in the past. So I always like, not always, but most of the time, I'll do a good solid mic check before I go on. And so I did that just to make sure. Um, and the microphone didn't react to it. So this is so simplistic too that there's not even like the recognition of a finger or thumb on this. Like I really wanted something that was just, if you did see like a neon sign, this isn't quite as broken up as that, but it's close. It's as close as I could get, I guess, on such a small scale. And again, just like last night when I washed everything away, and I was really sad that that happened. Um, uh, I'm still trying to preserve the outline here, so um, now, I did put a thumb over here just so that I could show him holding something, aka bottle. Chair loves moving, and I love the chair moving. It just adds a bit of variety to the tattoo experience. Go ahead and stab that down just to see. What's going on, Adrenaline? What's going on? How you doing, man? Um, I kind of I kind of explained a little bit. Ooh, almost tattooed my thumb. Kind of explained a little bit like how I have things set up for all my current and from here on out, like future, I guess, episodes. Like you can see what it is that I'm working on, kind of. And the little title right there above Everpress. So this is Brosidon that I got going on here. Um, there's actually several stories, I guess, about how Brosidon fits into things. But I had a had I have a really good friend who well, just say that we spent some time with with Brosidon in the past. So he's kind of traditional in the sense of what it is that he looks like. Good. I'm glad, man. Like that makes me happy. It does. I get really stoked about when people actually like the stuff that I'm working on. Now the question is, I guess, how successful I'm going to be able to pull this off. This is it's a little different, Um, I've used like a light blue and white before. Well, not the light blue, but I've used white before in designs, and sometimes it just doesn't really turn out the way I want it to. Sometimes it turns out okay. So I'm hoping that I'm pushing this in well enough to where the white, well, all the colors that I end up using tonight stay good and solid. And let's attack the side of the knee here. That's always a good thing to do. Yeah. We feel like this area right here just didn't get hit hard enough. Hit it even harder. Okay. Some little fishy scales because that's what needs to happen. What would Brosidon be? He wasn't, the most kick-ass merman ever. Oh no, not a straight line. Oh man, this is gonna be rough. You can already see. Look at that. I just wiped all that out, and there is nothing there. Okay, let's go slower with more white. Well, it's not white. It's really light blue, but I was tempted to say that if you're working with a light color, like almost like you have to see blood in order to make sure it's actually there. And that's shitty. Didn't have to do that. I feel like I'm pretty much riding the tube on this. And still, like, what's going to be my reward on that? Chair. Mm. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I think he would really appreciate this, considering the fact that you know it was a big inside joke for both of us. But I think everyone can appreciate Brosidon at some point, at least to some degree. Always come back and revisit this. What doesn't stick? I'm gonna put a little bit more here and here. Weird. Feel like I said I can revisit it. And now I'm like, or just revisit it all now. But my leg. All righty. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this needle out before it dries up, before the ink dries up in there, because I'm probably going to use this again. We're going to work on the other parts of this. How are you guys doing tonight? Just out of curiosity. I never always ask what you're doing, not how you're doing. So, favor. Ah, yeah. I really need to sink my teeth back into that. I just haven't. And I know it's worth it. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I've been playing like hella Dead Cells, which is mindlessly addicting as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around everything in a slightly darker blue. Hope that this sticks. Well, I'm glad I can provide some sort of you know meditative something for both of you guys to be able to do what it is that you normally do. Still, still, like get things accomplished, whatever. I'm gonna slow this way down. Let's talk about pain. What a round shader does to your skin at high speeds. I'm sitting there and wondering, like, what? Why does this hurt so much? Here, y'all. Yeah, find something that's a little bit less. Doesn't want to move out of my way. I put this stencil on. Put it on like really early, like I did the one yesterday, and I like the results of it. So I'm hoping for similar results. It sticks around for a little while. See though, yeah, always. I guess especially in my stage of learning how to do this stuff, like I feel like I shouldn't be surprised by anything, but I totally get surprised. What the hell? Like, why didn't this stay or why didn't that stay? Well, because I either moved too quick, moved too slow, had the machine set, too fast or too slow. Didn't stretch the skin enough. Something. Always something. Yes, school work. I will be starting school next week. Scared to death. So far, not too bad. All right, now I can slow it down even further. And I'm going to add a little bit of shade to it because light doesn't really count unless you have some shade. I know, I know. And the thing is like, the kids will be out of school uh, shortly after I start school. So, you know, so this won't show up too much. This is kind of just a blue, just a blue wash to I'm going to separate things out just a little bit, just a tiny bit. It's kind of exciting, I guess. Let's get that right. Hmm. Now I'm going to do something a little bit weird for me. We're going to take some of the ink that I have for. I don't want to use a medium-sized top hat. Let's use a small one. These things are so cool. These little top hats, man, I love them. So much better than like dipping your ink into, pouring your ink into something else. I guess it's like they were designed for tattoo ink. Insane. It's crazy. Take a little break here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the ink that I had for the outside highlight, and I'm going to make a wash out of it. So that should be fun. And then I'm going to use that for the blur on the outside edges. And hopefully that works out. Dang. That. Brosidon. 2 years in a row. And then the big one happens, you know? That's like Gwyneth's graduation. Probably be the big one. Dun. I'm a little mad at Gwyneth right now because I had some chill music going and she stole my Spotify account in her room so she can listen to K-pop. I don't have a problem with K-pop. Do what you want, right? Just don't take my Spotify. But she did. It's okay. It's Gwyneth. I can deal with that. So I'm using a wash and I'm going a wee bit ham. Just kind of back and forth. Really screwing up my skin. But hopefully not too bad a way. Like basically I just want a little bit of this wash to shine on the outside edges. That should do is get it, just a hint like a glow. If it doesn't, you know what? That's okay. Still got Brosidon. He's already there. He's doing Brosidon's work. Of course, I know I'm gonna rinse this and like everything's gonna go away. And I'll be like so sad. It's my first time trying neon. It may be my last for a good long time. Never sure how to do the neon effects anyway. The watercolor is what really gets me. Like these bros and sisters, they have like some kind of crazy, weird understanding of like color that I just can't, or technique that I just can't get. I'm not sure like what that's all about. How do they do that? How do they make this whole watercolor thing happen? Gin magic. Fit it in there that time. All right. Well, let's see what we're left with. Right now, that just looks like a big blue mess. And that's cool. I don't mind. Whatever. I'm sure it was important. I'm doing this after I just read like this whole article on how like new tattoo artists should not work with light colors because they don't really show up um, until after the process is like healed. So you tend to overwork things. I very much agree with that, having overworked a lot of my skin. But at the same time, I think I can go in. There's a couple of things I want to highlight anyway. It just so happens the ability to do that. I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't look like neon. It kind of does, but come on, right? Let me just add a little bit more. I'm going to mix some stuff up on the fly here. 2 drops. There's a little bit of what they call country blue with a wee bit of bright white. See the bright, I don't know if you could see that or not. There's little flecks that like come off of it. Like this stuff. I mean, white is, man, it's dangerous. It's insanely dangerous. I don't know why I keep going back to white. I think I really like bright tattoos. I'm using like a professional stir stick here, aka toothpick. It's not a professional stir stick. They actually have these little machines. It's insane. Little machines, and they go inside these little tiny top hats. Mix the ink all nice and good. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here with a toothpick. It's cool though because I'm not a professional. All right, I'm gonna bump this up a little bit. Get back in there. Go over some of these. Not a stupid chair. Chairs can't be stupid. Magic part. The part that I fear the most. Means I have to redo all the stuff. Hopefully, if I went more slow, it would be better. I feel like I went pretty slow that time. You know? I think Turkey Noodles warned me about this so many times. You think I'd start listening, but I don't. Don't use white. I mean, I'm mixing with white. This is really light blue. Guess it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, I know, man. You kind of like a good consultant. It's a little difficult to see, I know. I'm on the liner. Anything else I'm worried about lining right now? At this particular point in time, I think not. That's true. The thing is, though, is I'm trying pretty hard to accept what I've done to myself. If that makes sense. Willikers. Calm down. Get back in here with some of this shade. Inside of here. Mm, mm, mm. Too much. Place. clean. A little bit of shadow there. Too bad. Back to ordered. Play those highlights again. I get the highlights right. Our supply's getting angry. Yep. Game again. You are right, though. It would be pretty easy to cover up if I really hated it, you know? But, doesn't really sound like me. This is kind of fun for me. Just not really caring about, not really caring about, like, what it feels like, more like what it's actually doing on the end. Yeah. 5? Probably not. Probably won't be surprised. Mm. Digging that. I am digging that. Oh, what do we do? Hmm. For myself, it involves more white because I'm a glutton for punishment. No, this is good. This is good. Because things are about to get crazy. Third needle, the smallest of the bunch. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get into the places that I've already tattooed. Look at this. So this is a good professional needle. However, had my machine set to be able to be optimized with the needles that I was using the most. So the other two, um, now look how far out that thing is. Ooh, wait, that's gonna be fun. All right, okie dokie. Who says that? I do. I'm gonna just put some of this on the skin. This is just to I'm gonna keep the bleeding down a little bit. I'm I'm pretty stoked about it. I really thought like every time that I try something new, I'm like, well, this is gonna fail. But so far, there's only been a couple of those. Which ones are failures? Well, I can definitely show you. Give me give me a couple give me a couple seconds. Not so much failures, just things like really did not turn out how I wanted them to. I guess that might sound like oh, that's the definition of failure, but I think in some of these cases it's not necessarily that. It's more like I don't know, it's just not. It didn't go nearly as close to as planned as what I'd hoped. And some things like had like the lining fall out with some of my stuff. And you spend a lot of time lining, and I mean you can see like I'm meticulous about going back in here and trying to make sure that everything's legible. That you can read it and kind of tell what it is. And then to turn around and like I don't know, like a couple weeks later look down and see, oh crap, like the lining just totally fell out of this. I have to go back and reline. If the ink just it either didn't penetrate or it dried up, like, and I do try to keep things moisturized. You can ask my wife, like some things I'll lay down, be like, oh nope, working on the leg, gotta moisturize my I gotta lay down after getting out of the shower and put on a ton of lotion or whatever else I have. I mean, I'm not the best at aftercare by any means. Like, I'm not covering these things up with saran wrap when I'm done. Probably should. Seems to be a pretty good thing to do. I don't think this one's going to be a failure, though. He might fade pretty quick, but I don't think he's going to fail. I think he's exactly, not exactly. I mean, I would like it to be a little bit more vibrant, but at the same time, like it's still pretty damn cool. Freaking Brosidon, man. One thing that I've come to appreciate too is that I really don't mind going back. You know, like I really want to be satisfied with it. I will probably realistically like the idea of me working in a shop, tattooing other people or something like that. It's probably pretty small whenever it comes down to it. Um, but I still, like I still say, like I want to be satisfied with what it is that I'm doing. And if I ever like lay needle on somebody else, like I don't want them walking off, feeling like I didn't do what I was supposed to do or didn't do what I said I was going to do. You know, I think that looks like in the camera there. Yeah. So I think one more thing. Let me go back over this one more time. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I got to. Slightly higher speed. One thing that I am proud of that sport is the fact that we have over 15 full size, if not larger than life males. Did bump up the speed of this a little bit. Still trying to move kind of slow on it. Even like right now, I'm not even going over the whole thing, just parts of it. Kind of highlight a little bit. Pretty excited about that. Stick my finger all up in it. Yeah. Who needs it? Mm. Now what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and rinse this out real quick. Do something really weird. Turn this down to like shaving speed. Wash. Add oil. Do a little bit of Lawrence. More dark. Boom. That. I'll go back with that light glow effect one more time. Let's see. That's the one. Now this is what I'm talking about with like it not being optimized. Like that needle's like barely even coming out. So I don't need it really sticking out a whole lot, but I do like it kind of. Since I'm learning, this is taking me a little bit longer. I know, you know, somebody with a lot more experience if ever just be able to go in and just be like, oh yeah, okay, neon merman, got it, you know. But learning and the thing about that is I'm the one that said, yeah, Brosidon, and so I get to be the one that executes it and the one that drew it and the one that puts it into my skin. And that's pretty cool. How many people get to do that? I mean, anybody with an Amazon account probably could, but a bit more light, not as intense around the outside edges, I think. I think I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not sure. Like, I'm not. I There are a ton of great artists out there. It's kind of surprising, like how many creative people just like it used to be. I don't know. It used to be like such a I don't know if it's like taboo or what, but it was just like, what are you gonna do with that, you know? But it's funny, like the people in those situations, like they do it, you know. Me, I couldn't cut it, man. Like I did the whole like commercial art kind of thing, and man, it was just garbage, you know. And some of the people were garbage, and like experience that you were supposed to have was garbage. I mean, it was not cool, and I couldn't hack it. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say the same thing now, like that I couldn't hack it. I don't know if it's even worth the trouble sometimes to be that, that creative person. So, all right. I think, I think that is most definitely, I mean, he looks light. I like it. I think I could call that, somewhat neon for not working with any kind of neon colors. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna grease that thing up now so that we can. So you'll notice there are some dark edges, like around the perimeter, like way out here. I mean, that'll heal. Um, like that's more of where I was running at a fairly slow needle. You think that looks classy? Yeah, a little Brosidon action. Yeah, classy. I mean, he's carrying a bottle of something good, right? So yeah, I'll probably end up touching him up. I might do some more coloration or something on him, like in a couple of weeks. But I'm gonna let him heal, see what sticks, see what doesn't. Kind of take note of how that's gonna go. So okay, failures. This guy, he's not done by any means, but like I worked this flower trying to make it look not like a sunflower. It's supposed to be a cone flower, and I just couldn't get that to work, and I just overworked it. I think I spent, I did maybe an hour and a half or so on the whole thing, and 45 minutes of that was that flower. So this flower is still not healed, and it's been like 2 weeks easily. Um, I did get some pretty good lines on the face though. I know I can go in and clean up like some of the coloration and shadows on the body. But like the flowers, they're like, I mean, I might as well just throw that away, like period. Um, as far as like trying to get the flower done. These guys, these turned out really well. I really like them. Um, yeah, thanks. But this is like, you can see there's like little squiggles and stuff. Like, I wasn't nervous to do it, I guess. It was just since it was something new again, like trying to do all these like, organic shadows and everything. Like, I'd never tried that before. So I was like worried about it. And I rushed all the line work. And you can see like there's some falling out on this. It's darker in some areas than it is in others. So it's just kind of off balance. Again, something I can fix. I had to redo Mr. Toad. So now he is like the boldest thing that I have on my body, uh, which is, I mean, kind of cool because I really like Mr. Toad. But I had like 4 or 5 places in this. I did it with a really fine line, and the lining was great. Um, yeah, thanks. It does look antique. It looks like it's been there for a couple of years, and that's not, I need to freshen it up. But this guy, like, I just went back over him. Like, my line work was good. I pulled some really good lines. There wasn't a whole lot of shaky stuff to it, but for some reason, I think it was from going from the shin to the more meaty part of the calf and back to the shin. Like, I kept, you know, just kind of varying the needle depth, and so some of the lines just fell out. Let's see. Again, like up here, I had some line fallout. I have to go back and fix that. Um, because of the boxer, I've been really scared. Hey, focus, focus. I've been really scared to go after the skeleton, which is like, their duality or whatever. But I think, I mean, I'm gonna have to go in and clean up the black, and I might do that tomorrow during the day and just live stream it. Maybe, I don't know. Depends on what I got going on. Just during the day, just cleaning this up, and then maybe once I'm satisfied with that, then we'll go after the flowers and see how that goes. Um, I'm really proud of this. I mean, this turned out really well. I mean, I've got some color coming off of it. I should probably grease that bad boy back up so it stays nice and moist. But like, as far as like a green bottle, like that turned out pretty good. So I'm happy with that. But I've had to touch up, like even this guy had some fading, like I don't know. So I mean, I guess with exception to the flower, nothing else is that big of a failure, I suppose. But that bothers me a lot. Like I work that so much. This thing's practically leather right here. Um, so there's not going to be a whole lot that I'll be able to do to fix it, and like really salvage it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll like sunflowers. Maybe I'll come to appreciate sunflowers. I'm just gonna go ahead and grease him up. Go back over this one more time. Yeah, he's nice and greasy. All right. It looks bad, man. It looks bad. Like today was the last day that I had an actual scab on it. Like that's pretty terrible. Like 2 weeks in and still having like a scab. That's ridiculous. But that and that's just maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I am going to be overly critical of my own stuff because it's mine. All right. Well, yeah. So I think even from a distance, you can see that there's something there. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm pretty happy with Brosidon. I think he looks pretty cool. He looks pretty cool. I like him. I haven't done anything like that before. All my other stuff has been really bold. I did go back and fix this guy here, and I actually added like a really like strong black line around Cute Thulu, and fixed my ghost too, so he looks more bold and less shaky. So I'm happy with all of them. Happy with all those. Like I think that does a pretty good job. But the important thing is that boom, ending soon. What? See you next time, right? So tomorrow is Wednesday. I don't think it's not the every other Wednesday that I'll be gone. So maybe I'll be up there tomorrow at 8:30. I'm hoping so. I'll definitely, if you have your notifications turned on, then you'll know, and I'll know, and we'll keep it a secret. Just kidding. We don't have to do that, but yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out. I appreciate you guys supporting me again. Like, just giving me that moral support and, uh, you know, I guess morale support more than anything. It's been pretty awesome. And we'll have to see what comes of tomorrow. But I hope you guys like that. I put kind of what it is that I'm doing on all the slides, and so that if you do come in a little bit late, I I can just point to that and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm working on, instead of you having to figure out or try to figure out or ask me without like making me feel bad. What the hell is that? So yeah. All right, guys. Uh, big you know Korean heart, and I love you guys, and I will see y'all tomorrow.